Guys, I will not monetize this video. Because of this, I will not get any money for whatever views this video gets. I just want to say one thing. Please share this video because it is very important and my channel is not that big. So many people are not getting to know about it. And keep watching. Watch the entire smart watch, and I bought that smart watch with my own money from its official website, which is named something like Lears, 10 days ago. My money was deducted from my bank account on the same day and the order was successful. You can see there, congratulations were also written. But guys, it has been almost 10 days since then. First I thought let's wait for some time. And I saw that even after 3 to 4 hours my order section is not showing there. Until today it has been 10 days. Neither my order has been delivered. Neither in that order section. Today I think it is the 15th. Okay? It is almost 7 p.m. on the 15th. So even today the order has not been delivered. Neither is there any update in that order section. In fact, I had checked on the website as well. Neither is there any customer care number there nor anything. Meaning there is no mail, no message, nothing from their side. If you want to know this whole funda in detail, then definitely watch that video in the button above. I would like to say two other things. You are not able to build the website properly. You are saying that we have spent crores of rupees on RAD. People already know about the watch. You are deleting a lot of videos too. You are getting the videos of people who are telling the real truth deleted. Okay? You have to watch the original video of this guy. You will find it in the description below. Okay? He also said a lot of things, guys. He exposed everything. I will not go into the rest of that. Okay? Whatever is there about the smart watch, you are seeing it. But actually you think I have ordered it myself. The order is being placed from that website. Money is being deducted. But the order is not being delivered. There is no trace of the order. There is no customer care number either. You will say yes, I also know. Yes, maybe it will be delivered after 1 month, 10 days, 15 days. But my question is that what if I don't want to take it? My mind has changed. I don't want it. Okay? Then what should I do? Now let me show you another shocking thing. Usually you see my videos get around 95 to 94% likes, right? That means out of 100, 94 to 95 people like it. 5-6 people dislike it. But look at the truth below that video. I have told that almost I think I have got 86 or 87% likes. That means I have got less likes than I usually get. So guys, you think I am telling the truth. I am giving proof in front of them. There are some blind devotees who trust them on such a selfish basis. He is blaming me. He is saying that I am jealous. So it means guys, you think it has been so many days. I ordered a smart watch by paying 7,000 rupees. Till now I don't have all the information and I am jealous. So this is all I wanted to say. If you want to know in detail then you can watch the video here. Rest if you cannot maintain the website properly. In today's time, it takes 10-15,000 to make a good website. And you are saying that you have spent crores of rupees on your RAD. I felt very bad. This guy had made a very good video, but his video was deleted. By filing a legal case or something like that, I am not much of an expert on it. But what you are doing, is it right? And I have to cancel this order right now. I don't want it, so how do I do that? Also, all his fans who are watching should just answer this question of mine, and share this video a little so that many more people get information about this video. Because if they are going to buy the product, are thinking of buying from his website or are about to buy, they too can face problems. Because this problem did not happen to me. You can go and see below the video that I made. There are many other people who are talking about the same problem. Okay? If you want proof, you can see below that video. So guys, this is all I wanted to say. Please share it. I will not ask you to like it. I will not ask you to subscribe either. Just please share the video. If possible, I will not even monetize this video. Okay? So if possible, please share it. So bye bye.
देखो पिछली इस वीडियो में मैंने आपको बताया था कि आप इस तरीके की शॉर्ट लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग कैसे कर सकते हो। बस बहुत सारे लोगों ने मुझे कमेंट किया, भाई मेरी लाइव स्ट्रीम में मेरा बैकग्राउंड साउंड नहीं आ रहा, मेरा गेम का वॉइस भी जाए और मैं अपनी टीवी के अंदर से सबसे पहले गिले पे आपको ऐसे सबसे पहले साइन अप कर लें, जिससे आप 1080p रखना के लिए कि आप जैसे बात कर रहे हो अपने टीममेट से, तो आप अपने टीममेट से बात भी कर सकते हो, उसको रिकॉर्ड भी कर सकते हो और खुद भी बात कर सकते हो। सो आप गेम साउंड भी रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हो। अगर आप लोग मुझे कमेंट करोगे तो मैं इस टॉपिक के ऊपर भी आपके चैनल को कोई दिक्कत आई, क्योंकि मैं पड़ेगा, अच्छे से ध्यान रख लो। तो उसके बाद कैसे तो देखो यहाँ पे फायर करना, आप ज़्यादा कुछ और नहीं करना, ठीक है। कुछ ऐसी तो आपको यहाँ पे लैंडस्केप करना पड़ेगा, अच्छे से ध्यान रख लो। उसके बाद गाइस यहाँ पे आए थे मेन चीज पे, जो कि है हमारा ऑडियो करके, ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे ऑडियो में गाइस आ जाने के बाद गाइस यहाँ पे लिखो, जो आपको 3 ऑप्शन देखेंगे, माइक्रोफोन इन। उसके बाद गाइस आपको क्या करना है, मैं आपको अच्छी तरह से डाल लिया, देखो मैं डाल है अपने पसंद कर लेना है, ठीक है। अगर आपकी स्ट्रीम की क्वालिटी गाइस कम मतलब अच्छी नहीं आ रही है, आपको लग रहा है भाई आपके पास इंटरनेट ज्यादा, आपको बताता हूँ। देखो अगर आप लोग अब चाहते हो कि मेरे जो मैं जब भी लाइव स्ट्रीम करूं तो मेरा खुद का भी साउंड जाए, मेरे भी हेडफोन हो, देखो ऐसा बस उसमें 3.5 mm जैक होना चाहिए। तो आपको देखो क्या चीज़ का ध्यान रखना है। जैसे मान लो देखो आपको सबसे पहले इसको लगा देना है लाइव स्ट्रीम स्टार्ट होने से पहले, इस तरीके से, ठीक है। आपको लाइव लगा लेना है अपने फोन के अंदर, और आपको अब क्या करना है, अपनी लाइव ऐसे स्टार्ट कर देनी है। अब जैसे ही आपकी लाइव स्टार्ट हो जाए, लाइव स्टार्ट होने के बाद आपको बस अपने गेम के अंदर जाना है और जैसे ही आप गेम के अंदर जाओ ना, आपको इसको हटा देना है बस। अब आप अपने टीममेट से बात करो तो आपका भी साउंड लाइव स्ट्रीम पे जाएगा, आपका गेम भी साउंड जाएगा और आपका भी जाएगा। बस फर्क इतना पड़ेगा कि भाई अब आपके पास कोई अलग से माइक नहीं है भाई, समझ रहे हो ना, आपके पास अलग से माइक नहीं है, तो आपकी जो माइक की आपकी जो क्वालिटी वो फोन के माइक से रिकॉर्ड होगी, तो इतनी अच्छी क्वालिटी आपको देखने के लिए नहीं मिलेगी माइक की। बट अगर आप लोग ऐसा ब्लूटूथ, देखो अभी तो ये 3.5 mm जैक वाला है, अगर आप लोग ब्लूटूथ वाला ऐसा हेडफोन खरीद लोगे तो आपकी आवाज जाएगी और आपके टीममेट की भी जाएगी बिल्कुल अच्छी क्वालिटी से आपकी। तो गाइस बस आई होप गाइस मैंने आपको सारी चीज़ें बहुत अच्छी तरीके से समझाई होंगी। देखो अगर आपको अभी भी कोई भी दिक्कत आ रही है तो आप मुझे व्हाट्सएप पे मैसेज कर सकते हो, मैं व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप का लिंक आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन में दे दूंगा। और दूसरी बात देखो गाइस, आप लोग इस चीज़ का बहुत ज़्यादा ध्यान रखना, अगर आप ग्लिप से लॉन्ग लाइव स्ट्रीम भी कर सकते हो, शॉर्ट भी कर सकते हो। अगर आपको लॉन्ग लाइव स्ट्रीम करना है तो आपको हमेशा लैंडस्केप पे रखना है, और आपको शॉर्ट लाइव स्ट्रीम करना है तो आपको पोर्ट्रेट पे रखना है। इस चीज़ का बहुत ज़्यादा ध्यान देना भाई, इससे आप लॉन्ग भी लाइव स्ट्रीम कर सकते हो, शॉर्ट भी लाइव स्ट्रीम कर सकते हो। अगर अभी भी आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है, कोई प्रॉब्लम आ रही है तो मुझे व्हाट्सएप पे मैसेज कर सकते हो, व्हाट्सएप पे मेरे से कॉन्टैक्ट कर सकते हो। अगर आप लोग 20,000 रुपए के अंदर एक अच्छा फोन लेना चाहते हो तो आप इस वीडियो पे क्लिक कर सकते हो। मैं मिलता हूं आपको इसी वीडियो में।
What's good, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you two different methods to be able to stream your iPhone or your Android gameplay into OBS without blowing wires and cables that you have on iPhone for screen mirroring. This application and launch the application. The first thing you'll do and your account will be fully verified. An HDMI cable to that, which will go into the capture card. From there, you need to connect that capture card to your computer via the USB connection that it offers. For my Android users out there that want to run a similar setup, you can definitely do this, but you're going to need to double check that your phone can output HDMI. Not all Android phones can do that like the iPhones can. So you're going to need to double check that. And if you can do that, then by all means, go ahead, get the appropriate adapter for your phone and run the HDMI out of your phone to the capture card to the computer. Once you've done that, you can go to OBS, add a new source, make it a video capture device, select your capture card, and then you should see your gameplay picture from there. Expand it, stretch it out to your screen so that it looks the way you want it to. If you want to make sure that your audio is added, just add an audio input capture source, select the device dropdown, and choose your capture card. We also need to make sure that we can hear that audio. So what we can do in OBS is go into our audio mixer, go to our advanced audio properties, and then monitor and output that capture card source. Now that whole capture card setup may not be for everyone. You possibly don't own a capture card. Maybe you don't even want to pick up this digital AV adapter, which for iPhone users, this is going to set you back about $45. Another thing is that I've enjoyed using the backbone controller with my iPhone. And if I want to run this setup with the capture card, this won't even work with it. Not to mention all the wires and cables that you have to plug in. So my second method I'm gonna show you guys today is completely wireless, and if you wanna do it wired, it only requires one single cable. So I present to you the Duon application, probably the best app I've used that works on both Android and iPhone for screen mirroring. This application is 100% safe. The installation process is very seamless. There's no special configurations that you need to set in order to install this. Once you're at the end of the installation page, you can go ahead and launch the application. The first thing you'll want to do is go to the top middle of the app and create a new account. You can use any email and password combination that you'd like. You will need to verify your account, so select the send code button and go to your email account. Put that code from your email into the application and your account will be fully verified. Now, since this application is on a much higher tier compared to the free offerings that you have out there, you will have to get the VIP experience as a part of this app. So you can do $7. What's good, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you two different methods to be able to your computer and phone are on the same network connection. Swipe down to go to your control center, find the screen mirror store, make sure your phone and computer are on the same network connection, head over to on your desktop. You will get a better picture of the wireless capability remains and live. I'm going to choose not to have the current items here at the top that we don't want from the application. So what we're going to do is select the Option or Alt key on Windows and then just pull it down. And just like that, our gameplay is looking clean and pristine. But we're not done yet. We need to, it is. Select one of our microphones, probably via USB. so that we have commentary. Put it in a nice spot so that I am looking peachy. And now we're set to stream. If you're wondering how game chat will work with this setup, don't worry, it works perfectly normal as if you weren't even using this setup. But as you can see from the gameplay footage example, it's looking clear, there's no lagginess, no jumpy frames, recording out of OBS or even directly from the Duon app, which is a nice bonus feature by the way. If you're curious about my OBS settings to get this nice footage, this is what I use. My bitrate is pretty high, so if you're gonna be streaming, I wouldn't put that over 6,000, but the rest of the settings you can honestly copy to get good footage regardless. And now you see, it's just as easy as that to screen mirror your iPhone or Android device into
तो यार देखो, अभी भी मैं काफी सारे लोगों की कमेंट पढ़ता हूँ अपने वीडियोस पे कि भाई जब भी हम लोग मोबाइल से लाइव स्ट्रीम करते हैं किसी भी गेम की, इनबिल्ट फीचर मिल जाता है क्लब वाला, जहाँ पे आप लोग अपना आपकी भी आवाज आपके लाइव स्ट्रीम पे जाएगी, क्योंकि हम लोग एक ही ऐप यूज कर रहे हैं अपने टीममेट से बात करने के लिए भी और एक ही ऐप यूज कर रहे हैं लाइव स्ट्रीम करने के लिए भी। अब यहाँ पे आप लोग मेरे से एक सवाल और पूछ सकते हो कि भाई हम लोग अपने दोस्तों को तो व्हाट्सएप पे लिंक शेयर कर देंगे, वो लोग तो हमारा क्लब ज्वाइन कर
हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल। तो जैसे कि आपको पता है हर सैटरडे को हम लोग फ्री गेम्स एंड डिस्काउंट ऑन गेम्स वाला वीडियो लाते हैं, तो आज का वीडियो भी उसी सीरीज का पार्ट है। तो आज की वीडियो में मतलब इन शॉर्ट आपको बताना चाहूँ तो ये डीएलसीज आप बोल सकते हो, स्किन्स बोल सकते हो, कुछ पैक्स वगैरह जो गेम्स के आते हैं वो अलग अलग गेम्स के आपको यहाँ पे मिल रहे हैं। जैसे रोमन के कुछ यहाँ पे बात नहीं करूंगा क्योंकि फर्स्ट फ्री गेम की तरफ बॉल्स या फिर उसका जो कलर जो कर सकते हो। गेम के जेनर की बात करें तो ये एक्शन एडवेंचर सर्वाइवल एक्साइटिंग नहीं लगता है जैसे प्रीवियसली उन्होंने नो बिल्ड वर्जन एक लाया था फोर्टनाइट में और अभी भी अवेलेबल है वो, तो जिसको भी विदाउट बिल्ड गेम को खेलना है तो वो भी खेल सकता है फोर्टनाइट बैटल रॉयल। बट मजा आएगा, आपको पता ही है कि वैलोरेंट में कितना मजा आता है खेलने के लिए, मतलब CS:GO हो वैलोरेंट हो खेल सकते हो, ऐसे कुछ ग्राफिक्स के साथ में आता है। ये भी अभी फ्री में आपको मिलने वाला है, तो बढ़िया चीज है। गेट पे क्लिक करो और फ्री में क्लेम कर लेना। नेक्स्ट गेम की तरफ बढ़ते हैं तो खेल सकते हो, ऐसे कुछ ग्राफिक्स के साथ में आता है। ये भी अभी फ्री में आपको मिलने के साथ में खेलने में मजा आएगा। कैजुअल पार्टी रेसिंग स्टाइल का गेम है। गेट पे क्लिक करो और फ्री में क्लेम कर लेना। जैसे मैं के साथ में मिलके खेल सकते हो। ज़ोंबी एलिमेंट इसके अंदर रहने वाला है, तो अगर आपको ज़ोंबी किलिंग पसंद है तो आपको मजा आएगा। प्लस ये गेम के कुछ की फीचर्स की बात करें तो यहाँ पे आपको ओपन वर्ल्ड एक्सप्लोरेशन मिलने वाला है, डायनामिक ज़ोंबी AI मिलेगा, क्राफ्टिंग एंड बिल्डिंग का ऑप्शन है, PvP यानी प्लेयर वर्सेस प्लेयर एंड PvE ऑप्शन है, मतलब प्लेयर वर्सेस एनवायरनमेंट भी खेल सकते हो। सर्वाइवल मैकेनिक्स भी यहाँ पे दिया है जैसे कि हंगर, थर्स्ट एंड हेल्थ जैसे GTA में होता है, जो कि आप यहाँ पे इमेज से ही पता लगा सकते हो। तो ये सारी चीजें यहाँ पे मिलने वाला है। ग्राफिक्स भी बढ़िया लग रहा है, देख सकते हो आप, तो डेफिनेटली आप कंसिडर कर लेना। गेट पे क्लिक करो और फ्री में क्लेम कर लेना। तो ये हो गए हमारे सारे फ्री गेम्स क्लेम एपिक गेम स्टोर के। अभी बढ़ते हैं नेक्स्ट सेगमेंट की तरफ। तो इस सेगमेंट में बात करते हैं कुछ फ्री गेम्स ऑन स्टीम वेब स्टोर। तो उसके अंदर सबसे पहला गेम जो मैंने आपके लिए शॉर्ट लिस्ट किया है वो है फेटफुल डेस्टिनी। ऐसे कुछ बढ़िया ग्राफिक्स के साथ में आता है, एक्सप्लोरेशन मिस्ट्री डंजन स्टाइल का गेम है, पजल एलिमेंट भी इसके अंदर रहने वाला है। तो ऐड टू लाइब्रेरी पे क्लिक करो और फ्री में क्लेम कर लेना। नेक्स्ट गेम की तरफ बढ़ते हैं जो कि है साइबर सीज, जो कि रेसिंग एक्सप्लोरेशन की है, साइड रियल, और ये अगेन एक्सप्लोरेशन स्टाइल का गेम है, 3D प्लेटफॉर्मर है और ऐसे कुछ ग्राफिक्स आपको देखने को मिलने वाला है। मेरे को थोड़ा सा ये लिम्बो जैसा चीज लग रहा है, तो बढ़िया लग रहा है। डेफिनेटली आप ऐड टू लाइब्रेरी पे क्लिक करके क्लेम कर सकते हो। नेक्स्ट गेम की तरफ बढ़ते हैं तो वो है ओव मनी पे मनी, और ये पे क्लिक करो और फ्री में क्लेम कर लेना। तो थोड़े रहेंगे तो ऐसे विनर होगा, ऐसे कुछ है। अमेजोन के प्राइम गेमिंग के ऊपर अगर आपके पास कमेंट सेक्शन में बताते था थैंक यू फॉर द सेम, इसका मतलब आप बहुत अच्छी तरह से मेरे वीडियोस को देखते हो और रेक्टिफिकेशन भी करते हो। तो जरूर ऐसे करते रहना, मेरे से भी मिस्टेक हो सकता है, मैं एक ह्यूमन हूँ। तो आप डेफिनेटली ऐसे जो भी होता है तो आप कमेंट सेक्शन में बताते रहना, ताकि मेरे को पता चले कि आप ध्यान से वीडियो देख रहे हो और मेरे को और भी वीडियो बनाने के लिए मजा आएगा। तो इस बार जैसे कि अभी आप स्क्रीन पे देख ही सकते हो, आपको 5 फ्री गेम्स मिलने वाले हैं। सबसे पहला जो है वो है वॉरहैमर 40,000 डॉन ऑफ वॉर 2 एंड स्टीम पर इसको देखे वेरी पॉजिटिव रिस्पॉन्स के साथ में आता है। बढ़िया ग्राफिक्स भी है और इसका लोएस्ट 84 रुपीज तक गया है। जनरली इसका प्राइस 1900 दिखाई दे रहा है। अभी डिस्काउंट है इसके ऊपर 80% का, तो 380 का मिल रहा है 19 दिसंबर तक। बट अगर आपके पास Amazon प्राइम सब्सक्रिप्शन है तो आप इसको टोटली फ्री में क्लेम कर सकते हो। तो बढ़िया गेम है, डेफिनेटली क्लेम कर लेना। नेक्स्ट गेम की बात करें तो वो है हीरोज आर एंड स्टीम पर इसको देखें तो ऐसे कुछ ग्राफिक्स दिखाई दे रहे हैं। मतलब टॉप डाउन व्यू के साथ में ये गेम होने वाला है। मोस्टली पॉजिटिव रिस्पॉन्स के साथ में आता है, मतलब बढ़िया गेम है। टर्न बेस्ड स्ट्रेटेजी स्टाइल का गेम होने वाला है। जनरली ये 499 का मिलता है एंड लोएस्ट ये 199 तक गया है। बट Amazon प्राइम मेंबरशिप के साथ में अभी आपको ये टोटली फ्री में मिलने वाला है। चलिए नेक्स्ट गेम की तरफ बढ़ते हैं, तो वो है प्लैनेट ऑफ लाना। स्टीम पर अगर इसको देखें तो ऐसे कुछ ग्राफिक्स के साथ में दिखाई देता है। मतलब कॉमिक बुक स्टाइल थोड़ा सा ग्राफिक्स दिखाई दे रहा है। 2D प्लेटफॉर्मर बोल सकते हो ये गेम को। फीमेल प्रोटैगनिस्ट यहाँ पे होने वाली है एंड एक्शन एलिमेंट भी होने वाला है। तो बढ़िया गेम दिखाई दे रहा है, डेफिनेटली आप क्लेम कर लेना। एक्चुअल प्राइस की बात करें तो ये 880 रुपीज का दिखाई दे रहा है, बट अभी 50% डिस्काउंट पर अवेलेबल है। 440 रुपीज का मिल रहा है, बट लोवेस्ट ये 415 रुपए तक गया है। बट अभी अगर आपके पास प्राइम सब्सक्रिप्शन है Amazon का तो आप इसको टोटली फ्री में क्लेम कर सकते हो। तो बढ़िया है, थोड़ा सा पार्कोर एलिमेंट भी दिखाई दे रहा है, तो डेफिनेटली आप क्लेम कर सकते हो। इसी के साथ बढ़ते हैं नेक्स्ट गेम की तरफ, जो की है द कोमा रिकट। स्टीम पर इसका ग्राफिक्स देखें तो 1499 रुपीज का रहता है और 3 महीने का भी अगर Amazon प्राइम सब्सक्रिप्शन लेते हो तो कुछ 599 रुपीज का रहता है। बट आपको रूटर शॉप से ये काफी सस्ते प्राइस में मिलेगा। एनुअल मेंबरशिप कुछ 1200 के आसपास है एंड 3 महीने का भी प्राइस आप स्क्रीन पर देख सकते हो। तो जो भी आपको मेंबरशिप पसंद है वो आप बाय कर सकते हो, जिसका लिंक अगेन मैंने डिस्क्रिप्शन में दिया हुआ है। रूटर से ये स्पॉन्सर्ड नहीं है, अफिलिएटेड है। तो अगर आप मेरे लिंक से शॉप करते हो तो मेरे को छोटा सा कमीशन मिल जाएगा। बाकी ये जो सारे गेम्स की लिंक है उसको देखना है तो उसका भी लिंक मैंने डिस्क्रिप्शन में डाला हुआ है, तो वो भी आप चेकआउट कर सकते हो। तो ये हो गए हमारे सारे Amazon प्राइम गेमिंग के फ्री गेम्स क्लेम। अभी बढ़ते हैं नेक्स्ट सेगमेंट की तरफ। इस सेगमेंट में बात करेंगे GOG.com के बारे में। तो जैसे आपको याद होगा मैंने इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ दिस वीडियो में बताया था कि हम लोग कुछ 20 गेम्स गिव अवे में मिल रहा है, उसके बारे में भी बात करेंगे, जो कि अदर देन एपिक के मिस्ट्री गेम्स से है, जो कि GOG.com पे आपको मिलने वाला है। तो इसका डायरेक्ट लिंक भी मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन में दे दूंगा। तो जैसे आप वो लिंक पे क्लिक करोगे, आप नीचे स्क्रॉल करके जाओगे तो आपको सारे गेम्स जो है जो कि आपको फ्री में मिलने वाले हैं वो दिखाई देंगे, जिसके अंदर सबसे पहला गेम जो है वो अनलॉक हो गया है। जैसे मिस्ट्री गेम एपिक गेम स्टोर का फर्स्ट गेम अनलॉक हो गया है, जो टोटल 16 मिलने वाले हैं, जो कि 2 जैन तक ऑफर चलने वाला है। वैसे यहाँ पर भी आपको विंटर सेल जो है वो टोटल 20 गेम्स दे रहा है। तो ये और ज्यादा गेम्स आपको दे रहा है, बट डेली देगा। आज से जिस टाइम मैं ये वीडियो शूट कर रहा हूँ यानी कि फ्राइडे से, बट ये वीडियो सैटरडे को आएगा, तो आप फर्स्ट गेम मिस ना करो। इसकी वजह से मैं कम्युनिटी पोस्ट कर दूंगा, तो आप जरूर उसको चेकआउट कर सकते हो। क्लेम कैसे करना है, जैसे आप वो लिंक पर क्लिक करोगे आपके सामने ऐसे कुछ स्क्रीन पर आ जाएगा। और गेम का नाम तो पहले बता दूं, गेम का नाम है द विस्पर्ड वर्ड स्पेशल एडिशन। तो लिंक पर क्लिक करने के बाद में आप गो टू गिव अवे पे जाना, उसके बाद में आपके सामने ऐसे कुछ ओपन हो जाएगा। फिर यहाँ पे ऐड टू लाइब्रेरी पे क्लिक कर देना। जैसे आप इस पर क्लिक करोगे आपका फ्री गेम जो है वो इमीडिएटली आपके लाइब्रेरी में शो हो जाएगा, जो कि अभी आप स्क्रीन के ऊपर देख सकते हो। सकते हो। तो ऐसे आपको क्लेम करना है। सबके लिंक्स मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन में दे दूंगा और ये फर्स्ट वाले गेम का मैं लिंक जो है डायरेक्टली कम्युनिटी पोस्ट में डालूंगा। और ये गेम और एपिक गेम स्टोर्स के जो भी 24 आवर्स के गेम्स रहेंगे वो मैं कम्युनिटी पोस्ट एंड व्हाट्सएप चैनल पर डालते रहूंगा, अपडेट करते रहूंगा। तो वर्ल्ड स्टाइल के गेम्स पसंद आते हैं तो ये वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 बेस्ड गेम है। तो मिलिट्री या मिलिट्री सिमुलेशन इस सेगमेंट में बात इस सेगमेंट में वो मिस नहीं करो।
तो एपिक की मिस्ट्री गेम पॉपुलैरिटी देखते हुए जीओजी भी इस बार 20 फ्री गेम्स देने वाला है। पर क्या ये गेम एपिक से भी अच्छी होंगी और जीओजी आखिरकार है क्या? तो फ्री गेम और जीओजी से रिलेटेड सारे सवाल मैं तुम्हारे इस वीडियो था। एक फ्री गेम थी और बाकी 2 गेम्स जो थी ना उस पर खाली डिस्काउंट मिल रहा है, मतलब गेम नहीं मिल रही, डिस्काउंट का ऑफर दे रहे हैं। तो मतलब अभी तक तो सबको यही लग गेम दे भी दिए, जिसमें से ना एक तो वॉलपेपर था, एक फ्री गेम थी और बाकी 2 गेम्स जो थी ना उस पर खाली डिस्काउंट मिल रहा है, मतलब गेम नहीं मिल रही, डिस्काउंट का ऑफर दे रहे हैं। तो मतलब अभी तक तो सबको यही लग रहा है कि भाई जीओजी हमारे साथ स्कैम कर रहा है। बट देखो ये एपिक जितनी फेमस कंपनी नहीं है तो इससे ज्यादा उम्मीद नहीं रख सकते। ऑल्सो ये अपना फ्री गेम का इवेंट पहली बार कर रहे हैं, मतलब टेस्टिंग के लिए कर रहे होंगे इन्होंने, क्योंकि पहला तो ऐसा कभी किया नहीं है। इसलिए मेरे हिसाब से ना क्रिसमस के आसपास तुम इससे ना अच्छी गेम्स एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हो। और हमेशा ना तुम्हें प्रॉब्लम होती है कि फोन पे कैसे क्लेम करें, पीसी पे कैसे क्लेम करें, इसलिए ना मैं सारा प्रोसेस डिटेल में बताने करते रहो। जब स्क्रॉल करोगे यहाँ पे आ जाएगा विंटर सेल कैलेंडर। अब यहाँ पे ना एक देखने वाली बात है, गिव अवे नहीं लिखा है, लिखा है इन्होंने सेल का कैलेंडर। मतलब शायद क्या पता ये सारी ही सेल हो, या गिव अवे नहीं लिखा है, लिखा है इन्होंने सेल का कैलेंडर। मतलब शायद क्या पता ये सारी ही सेल हो, या क्या पता बीच बीच में कुछ फ्री गेम हो, ये तो मुझे अभी तक पता नहीं, क्योंकि अभी तक पहली ही फ्री गेम मिली है, बाकी 3 तो कचरा आइटम्स थी। और जैसे एपिक पे है ना कि उनकी मिस्ट्री गेम्स खाली 24 घंटे के लिए अवेलेबल होंगी, इसमें ये है कि इनके गिफ्ट ना खाली 3 दिन के लिए अवेलेबल होंगे, उसके बाद ये भी एक्सपायर हो जाएंगे। और यहाँ पे ये भी लिखा है कि 3 PM CET को ना हमारी गेम आया करेगी। इसका मतलब ये है कि इंडिया में ना शाम को 7:30 बजे इनकी गेम आया करेगी। तो अगर मैं तुम्हें आज की गेम क्लेम करके दिखाऊं तो बस तुम्हें इस गिफ्ट ट्रैपर ऑफर पे क्लिक करना है और फिर यहाँ लिखा आ जाएगा रिडीम कोड। बस फिर तुम रिडीम कोड को ना कॉपी कर लो या याद रख लो और फिर कंटिन्यू पे दबाओ और तुम फिर यहाँ पे रिडीम के ऑप्शन पे दबा दो। अब ये तुमसे पैसे मांगने लगा है क्योंकि इन्होंने ना असली में ऑफर दिए, फ्री गेम नहीं दिए। तो बस अगर अब तुम्हें इन गेम्स को खरीदना है तो खरीद सकते हो। वैसे मैं तो सजेस्ट नहीं करूंगा खरीदने को, क्योंकि मैं तो तुम्हें फ्री गेम के लिए बता रहा हूँ। जिस दिन ये फ्री गेम देंगे ना, डायरेक्ट तुम्हारे गेम ना लाइब्रेरी में चली जाएगी, ऐसा कुछ बना नहीं आएगा और मतलब ज्यादा झंझटबाजी नहीं होगी। अगर तुम लेफ्ट में देखो तो ना वहां पे लिखा होता है ओल्ड गेम्स, तो उस पे क्लिक करो तो तुम्हारी ना पूरी लाइब्रेरी खुल जाएगी। और जब नीचे नीचे करोगे ना, और जैसे मेरे को ये गेम मिली हुई फोरेजर, इस पे मैंने क्लिक किया और ऊपर ना इंस्टॉल का बटन आ जाता है, तो आराम से फिर उन गेम्स को तुम इंस्टॉल कर लेना। तो अब मैं तुम्हें बताता हूँ कि फोन पे इन गेम्स को तुम कैसे क्लेम कर सकते हो। तो सबसे पहले तो तुम्हें गूगल क्रोम खोल फ्री गेम्स को फोन पे कैसे क्लेम करें, तो वो भी अभी मैं तुम्हें बता जी पे, जो हमेशा के लिए फ्री रहती है और तुम इन्हें कभी भी अपनी लाइब्रेरी में ऐड कर सकते हो, कोई एक्सपायरी डेट नहीं है और मजे कर सकते हो। तो ये जो फ्री गेम की पूरी कलेक्शन की लिस्ट है ना, उसका लिंक मैं अपने डिस्कॉर्ड और टेलीग्राम पे डाल दूंगा, तुम वहां पे आके देख सकते हो। और इनमें से ना मैं तुम्हें 3 बेस्ट गेम्स बता देता हूँ जो मुझे सबसे अच्छी लगी, जो तुम्हें खेलनी चाहिए। तो पहली तो हो गई गेम बिट्रेयर नाम की। ये ना हॉरर गेम है, 6 गिवअवेज में पार्टिसिपेट बिल्कुल मत जाना, बहुत ही छोटी गेम है, आधे घंटे में शायद स्टार्ट। और इसके फ्रेंचाइज के बारे में तो ग्राफिक्स इसके अच्छे होंगे, तो तुम इसे भी ट्राई कर
என்னடா பர்கர்ல தான் தோசை தரீங்க?
மாவு தோசையிலேருந்து பர்கர் தோசை இருக்க அந்த ஸ்பாட்ஸ் வர மாதிரி நம்ம வீடியோ சேவ் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கோங்க. நான் எவங்க கிட்ட பன்னீர் தோசை, பீட்
Estás son las
In this video, we are going to discuss about data link layer design issues. There are mainly 4 issues are there. The first one is services provided to the network layer. The second one is framing. Third one is flow control. In this video, we are going now. Fourth one is error control. In this video, we are going to discuss data link layer has in this video discuss about the first issue of the data link layer, that is services provided to the network layer. In the upcoming videos, we will discuss the remaining 3 issues such as framing, flow control and error control. So we know that so this This is the data link layer. On top of the data link layer, we have network layer. On bottom of the data link layer, we have physical layer. So the major task of the data link layer is to provide services to the network layer. So that means by using data link layer, we can transfer the data from network layer, which is located on one mission, to another network layer, which is located on some other mission. So this is nothing but source mission, and this is nothing but destination mission. So the main task of data link layer is it transfers the data from network layer from the source mission to network layer which is located on the destination mission. So for that purpose, data link layer uses physical layer. We know that physical layer transmits the data in the terms of bits. So here it converts the corresponding bit stream into frame. Here frame is nothing but a collection of bits. In order to provide services to the network layer, mainly we use three types of services. So here we have three types of services are there. The first one is unacknowledged connectionless service. So first one is unacknowledged connectionless service. Second one, acknowledged connectionless service. Second one is acknowledged connectionless service. Whereas the last one is acknowledged connection oriented service. So what is the last one? Acknowledged connection oriented service. So mainly we use these three types of services in order to transfer the data from network layer which is located on one mission to network layer which is located on another mission. So here the name itself specifies the meaning. So what is the first one? Unacknowledged connectionless service. So connectionless means there is no connection between source and destination, whereas unacknowledged means after receiving the frame, the corresponding destination. So here the name itself specifies the meaning. So what is the first one? Unacknowledged connectionless service. So connectionless means there is no connection between source and destination, whereas unacknowledged means after receiving the frame, the corresponding there is no connection between source and destination. Whereas unacknowledged means after receiving the frame, the corresponding destination mission doesn't provide any acknowledgement to the client mission. Let us assume that the frame was lost. Then no attempts were made in order to recover the frame. Why? Because the client doesn't expect any acknowledgement here. It simply sends the frame, then it doesn't bother whether the frame was successfully received to the receiver or not. Okay, so that is the first one. So here what will happen if the frame was lost due to any sort of problem? Then what will happen? No attempts were made to recover the frame. The second one is acknowledged connectionless service. So connectionless means there is no connection between client and the server mission. Acknowledged means here the client mission sends the data frame by frame. So after sending a frame to the server, or the sender mission sends a frame to the receiver, then the receiver provides acknowledgement for each and every frame. Okay. And the last one is acknowledged connection oriented. So there should be some connection between the sender and the receiver, as well as after the receiver receives the frame, it provides an acknowledgement to the client. Okay. So this is about the first design issue, and that is nothing but services provided to the network layer. In the upcoming videos, we will see the remaining three issues. So here we have three types. Second one, so the physical layer. So that means here, that is services provided to the network layer. In the upcoming videos, we will discuss the remaining three issues, such as framing, flow control, and error control. So we know that so this is the data link layer. On top of the data link layer, we have network layer. On bottom of the data link layer, we have physical layer. So the major task of the data link layer is to provide services to the network layer. So that means by using data link layer, we can transfer the data from network layer, which is located on one mission, to another network layer, which is located on some other mission. So this is nothing but source mission, and this is nothing but destination mission. So the main task of data link layer is it transfers the data from network layer from the source mission to network layer, which is located on the destination mission. So for that purpose, data link layer uses physical layer. We know that physical layer transmits the data in the terms of bits. So here it converts the corresponding bit stream into frame. Here frame is nothing but a collection of bits. In order to provide services to the network layer, mainly we use three types of services. So here we have three types of services are there. The first one is unacknowledged connectionless service. So first one is unacknowledged connectionless service. Second one, acknowledged connectionless service. Second one is acknowledged connectionless service. Whereas the last one is acknowledged connection oriented service. So what is the last one? Acknowledged connection oriented service. So mainly we use these three types of services in order to transfer the data from network layer which is located on one mission to network layer which is located on another mission. So here the name itself specifies the meaning. So what is the first one? Unacknowledged connectionless service. So connectionless means there is no connection between source and destination, whereas unacknowledged means after receiving the frame, the corresponding destination mission doesn't provide any acknowledgement to the client mission. Let us assume that the frame was lost. then no attempts were made in order to recover the frame. Why? Because the client doesn't expect any acknowledgement here. It simply sends the frame, then it doesn't bother whether the frame was successfully received to the receiver or not. Okay, so that is the first one. So here what will happen, if the frame was lost due to any sort of problem, then what will happen, no attempts were made to recover the frame. The second one is acknowledged connectionless service. So connectionless means there is no connection between client and the server machine. Acknowledged means here the client machine sends the data frame by frame. So after sending a frame to the server, or the sender machine sends a frame to the receiver, then the receiver provides acknowledgement for each and every frame. Okay. And the last one is acknowledged connection oriented. So there should be some connection between the sender and the receiver, as well as after the receiver receives the frame, he provides an acknowledgement to the client. Okay. So this is about the first design issue, that is nothing but services provided to the network. In this video, we are going to discuss about data link layer design issues. There are mainly 4 issues are there. The first one is services provided to the network layer. The second one is framing. Third one is flow control. Fourth one is error control. In this video, we are going to discuss about the first. Going to discuss about framing in data link layer. The major task of data link layer is it provide services to the network. In this video, we are going to discuss about framing in data link layer. The major task of data link layer is it provide services to the network layer. For that, data link layer uses the services of physical layer. In this video, we are going to discuss about framing in data link layer. The major task of data link layer is it provide services to the network layer. For that, data link layer uses the services. In this video, we are going to discuss about framing in data link layer. The major task of data link layer is it provide services to the network.
Mister, hand me that, quick.
डील्स पहले बाकी सब बाद में फ्लिपकार्ट बिग सेविंग डेज
फ्रिज में मीठा तो घर मीठा.
In this video,
imagine never having to remember any Microsoft Excel formula from today. How amazing would that be?
in this video, we are going to discuss about framing in data link layer. In this video, we are going to discuss about framing in data link layer. The major task of data link layer is it provide services to the network layer. For that, data link layer uses the services of physical layer. So in order to provide services to network layer, in this video, we are going to discuss about data link layer design issues. Mainly we have 4 design issues are there. First one is services provided to the data link layer has.
ওকে, তো সবাইকে প্রথম ক্লাসে স্বাগতম। পূর্বের ক্লাসটি ছিল
has four design issues. Data link layer has four design issues such as services In this video, we are going to discuss about framing Data link layer has 4 design issues such as in this video we are going to discuss about network framing in data link layer. The major task of data link layer is in this video we are going to discuss about framing. In this video we are going to discuss in this video we are about framing in data link layer. The major task of data link layer is it provide services to the network layer. For that, data link layer uses the services of physical layer. So in order to provide services to network layer, data link layer uses the services of physical layer. We know that physical layer transmits data in the form of bits. So at the data link layer we uses bits. Whereas so at the physical layer the data will be transmitted in the form of bits. Whereas at the physical layer we uses frame. So what is a frame? In this video we are going to discuss about framing in data link layer. The major task of data link layer is it provide services to the network layer. For that, data link layer uses the services of physical layer. So in order to provide services to network layer, data link layer uses. In this video we are going to discuss about framing in data link layer. The major task of data link layer is it provide services to the network layer. For that, data link layer uses the services of physical layer. So in order to provide services to network layer, data link layer uses the services of physical layer. We know that physical layer transmits data in the form of bits. So at the data link layer we uses bits. Whereas so at the physical layer the data will be transmitted in the form of bits. Whereas at the physical layer we uses frame. At the physical layer the data will be transmitted in the form of bits. At the physical layer the data will be transmitted in the form of bits. Whereas at the physical layer we uses frame. So what is a frame? Frame means a collection of bits. Framing is nothing but it is a concept which is useful in order to transfer the frame from the source to destination. So framing means transferring the frame from source to destination or from destination to source. We can implement framing in 3 ways. The first approach is character count, second approach is byte stuffing, and third approach is we have one more approach, bit stuffing. In this video, we are going to discuss about those three approaches one by one. So what is the first one? Character count. So here totally at the sender side. So this is nothing but sender side. This message is sender side, whereas this is nothing but receiver side. So here the sender side we have 3 frames here. So totally the message is divided into 3 frames, where the first field of each frame, that means the header of each frame, specifies character count. So here frame 1 character count is 5. It specifies that frame 1 totally contains 5 characters, including that character. So here frame 1 size is 5. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So totally we have 5 characters are there. If we observe the second frame, so here what is the first field? The first field contains 5. So 5 is nothing but character count. So it specifies the length of the second frame, including that frame. So including this character, okay. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the length of the second frame is 5, including this character. So likewise, we have third frame also. So the third frame first character, the third frame header field contains 8. So that means totally there are 8 characters present in the system, okay. Now sender sends this message to the receiver. This is nothing but receiver side. So here also the first frame contains the first field header contains 5. So it specifies that totally there are 5 characters present in the system. But let us assume that during the transmission, due to some noise, some disturbance, this 5 is changed to 7. Okay. So the header of the second field, the header of the second frame, the first field of the second frame is modified to 7 from 5. So now the second field contains 7 characters, including that character. So 7, 6, 7. So 3 characters, 4 characters, 7 characters. So now what we have is, so after these characters we have 1. So now third frame contains only 1 character. Next fourth frame first character is 2. So fourth frame contains 2 characters. Fifth frame contains 4 characters. Actually, how many frames sender sends? Actually, sender sends 3 frames only, but receiver receives how many frames? Receiver receives 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames, because of there is a change in the first field of the second frame. Okay, so here the problem is there is no synchronization between the sender and the receiver. So if some message was modified, okay, here the first field of the second frame was modified, so there is no synchronization between the sender and the receiver. So receiver can't able to determine what is the starting character of the frame and what is the ending character of the frame. So that is not able to determine by the receiver. So this is the problem here. Okay, in the olden days we used this approach, but nowadays we are not using this approach. Why? Because if a single character was modified, then the entire message gets modified. So instead of having 3 frames, receiver is assuming that there are 5 frames. So that's why we don't use this method. And let's see the second method, that is character or byte stuffing. Here stuffing means inserting. Let us assume that here the frame or second frame. Okay, so here the problem is there is no synchronization between the sender and the receiver. So if some message was modified, okay, here the first field of the second frame was modified, so there is no synchronization between the sender and the receiver. So receiver can't able to determine what is the starting character of the frame and what is the ending character of the frame. So that is not able to determine by the receiver. So this is the problem here. Okay, in the olden days we used this approach, but nowadays we are not using this approach. Why? Because if a single character was modified, then the entire message gets modified. So instead of having 3 frames, receiver is assuming that there are 5 frames. So that's why we don't use this method. And let's see the second method, that is character or byte stuffing. Here stuffing means inserting. Let us assume that here the frame or message contains some special control characters. We have some special characters like escape character, flag character, data link escape character. So likewise there are so many characters are there. If a message contains a special control character such as flag bit or escape bit, then what will happen is how we can solve that problem. So in order to solve that problem, what the sender will do is the sender will insert another escape character. So while the receiver receives 2 escape characters continuously, then the receiver removes one of the stuffed character. Let us see this example so that we can have the perfect clarity. Let here we have the message contains 3 characters. So A, flag, B. So these 3 are present in the message. So sender sends this message to the receiver. So here we have a special character which is present in the message. So what the sender will do is sender B stuff. So here this portion is nothing but before stuffing. So before stuffing, whereas these diagrams are nothing but after stuffing. So after inserting, this data will be sent to the receiver. Okay. So here we have a special character. So what the sender will do? The sender will stuffs or insert a special character before the flag. Here before the flag, sender inserted a special character called escape. So whenever receiver receives this message, here we have 2 special characters are there. So receiver simply removes this escape character and reads this message. Okay. And let us observe the second message. Here also the message contains a special character called escape character. So what the sender will do? Sender will insert a special escape character such as ESE before the ESE. So here we have 2 special characters are there. So whenever receiver receives the message, receiver removes one of the special character and reads the message. Let us observe the third message. Here we have 2 special characters are there. So before this character, sender insert one escape sequence character, and before this one, sender inserts one more escape character. So A, ESE flag, and after that we have B. So whenever receiver receives the message, here we have 2 characters are there. So receiver removes one escape character. Here we have 2 characters are there. So receiver removes this escape character and reads the message. So in this way we can implement byte stuffing or character stuffing. So here we are inserting a byte or character into the message. So after the receiver receives the message, then it destuffs, it removes that special character. Now let us see the last approach. The last approach is, so till now we have seen 2 approaches, character count and it destuffs, it removes that special character. Now let us see the last approach. The last approach is, so till now we have seen 2 approaches. So receives the message, then it destuffs, it removes byte stuffing or character stuffing. So here we are inserting a byte or character into the message. So after the receiver receives the message, then it destuffs, it removes that special character. Now let us see the last approach. The last approach is, so till now we have seen 2 approaches, character count and byte stuffing. Let us see the third approach. The third approach is bit stuffing. The third approach is bit stuffing. So the name itself specifies the meaning. Here the sender stuffs a bit here instead of byte. So in byte or character stuffing, sender inserts an additional character or byte such as ESE, escape sequence character. Whereas here sender stuffs a bit. Here let us assume that if there are 5 consecutive ones are there, then the sender stuffs a character called 0 and sends the message to the receiver. So whenever receives 5 consecutive ones with 0, then receiver removes that 0 and reads the message. Let us assume that the message is like this, 0 0. Let me have some message like this. So let the message is like this. So whenever sender reads the message, if there are 5 consecutive ones are there, then sender stuffs A0 here. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we have 5 zeros are there. So whenever 5 zeros are there, then sender inserts or stuffs A0. And after that, all the bits are inserted. So 1, 0. Again here we have 5 ones are there. So what the sender will do? Sender stuffs 0. Sender stuffs 0. 0. And after this we have 0. Next double 1 0. Double 1 0. Okay. So here 5 ones are there. So if there are 5 ones, then sender is stuffing 0 here. Okay. Stuffing 0 here. And after that we have so after 5 ones here we have 0. So after this we don't have any message. So after 1, 2, 3, 5 ones. So after 5 ones, sender stuff is disconnected. So after this we have 1, 0, 1, 0. Next after this we have 5 ones. 5 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. So whenever 5 ones are there, then sender inserts 1, 0. So after 5 ones we have 0, double 1, 0, 0, double 1, 0. Okay. So this 1, 0. These two are nothing but additional bits. Why? Because we inserted how many zeros? 1, 0. Next after so after that double 1, 0. Okay. So sender stuffs 0. After that, so the message is like this. Some message like this. Let me have some message like this. So let the message is like this. So whenever sender reads the message, if there are 5 consecutive ones are there, then sender stuffs A0 here. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we have 5 zeros are there. So whenever 5 zeros are there, then sender inserts or stuffs A0. And after that, all the bits are inserted. So 1, 0. Again here we have 5 ones are there. So what the sender will do? Sender stuffs 0. Sender stuffs 0. 0. And after this we have 0. Next double 1, 0. Double 1, 0. Okay. So here 5 ones are there. So if there are 5 ones, then sender is stuffing 0 here. Okay. Stuffing 0 here. And after that we have so after 5 ones here we have 0. So after this we don't have any message. So after 1, 2, 3, 5 ones. So after 5 ones, sender stuff is disconnected. So after this we have 1, 0, 1, 0. Next after this we have 5 ones. 5 ones. So 1, 2, 3. So after 5 ones, sender stuff is disconnected. So after this we have 1, 0, 1, 0. Next after this we have 5 ones. 5 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. So whenever 5 ones are there, then sender inserts 1, 0. So after 5 ones we have 0, double 1, 0, 0, double 1, 0. Okay. So this 1, 0. These two are nothing but additional bits. Why? Because we inserted how many zeros? We inserted 2 zeros. Okay. So whenever receiver receives the message, then it takes the pattern 5 ones followed by 0. If there are 5 ones followed by 0, then receiver simply removes that 0 and it reads the message. Okay. So here we have 5 ones with the message 0. So receiver simply removes this 0. So likewise here we have 5 ones with 0. So receiver simply removes this message and reads the message. So in this way we can implement framing concept with the help of character count, byte stuffing or character stuffing and bit stuffing. In this video we have 0. So after this we don't have any message. We inserted how many zeros? We inserted 2 zeros. Okay. So whenever receiver receives the message, then it takes the pattern 5 ones followed by 0. If there are 5 ones followed by 0, then
services provided to the network layer, framing, error control and flow control. In this video we are going to discuss about error control. Let we have sender and receiver. We have sender as well as receiver. Sender sends a frame to the receiver. So receiver receives the frame and provides acknowledgement to the sender. So here receiver may provides positive acknowledgement to the sender. This positive acknowledgement specifies that receiver has received the frame successfully. So here sender sends a frame to the receiver. Let receiver receives the frame successfully. So it provides positive acknowledgement to the frame, positive acknowledgement to the sender. So by observing that positive acknowledgement, sender can know that receiver has successfully received the frame. Let us see one more scenario. Let sender sends a frame to the receiver, but there are some errors in the frame. So the frame is having some errors. So in the type of occasion, receiver provides negative acknowledgement to the sender. receiver provides negative acknowledgement to the sender. Why? Because here the frame has some errors. Okay, that means some bits are modified. Zeros are converted to ones, and few ones are converted to zeros. Here, let's say another situation. Let the frame is lost. Let the frame is lost. Here, sender sends a frame to the receiver. Sender sends a frame to the receiver. But let us assume let the frame is lost. Here, sender sends a frame to the receiver. Sender sends a frame to the receiver. But let us assume that the frame is lost. So in this situation, what will happen? Receiver waiting for a frame from the sender. Here, sender sends the frame. So after sending the frame, sender is expecting a positive acknowledgement from the receiver. But those two things are not happening here. So sender is waiting for the acknowledgement. Receiver is waiting for the frame from the sender. Okay. So how we can solve this problem? In order to solve this problem, timers are introduced. So here what will happen is sender will maintain a timer for each and every frame. So every frame will have a timer. So every frame will have a time period. So after sending the frame, sender will expect an acknowledgement from the sender for the time period only. If the time period expires, the sender will retransmit the same frame once again. So here the frame is lost. So sender will wait for some time. After the time period expires, sender retransmits the same frame once again. Or let acknowledgement is lost. Let acknowledgement is lost. So that means sender sends the frame to the receiver. Receiver receives the frame and it provided an acknowledgement to the sender. But unfortunately, that acknowledgement is lost. We know that every frame will have a timer. So sender will wait for that particular time period only. After the time period expires, what will happen? Sender will retransmit the same frame once again. So here what is happening? Sender is retransmitting. Sender is sending same frame multiple times. So there may be a possibility that duplicate frames may be transmitted several times. So multiple frames are transmitted to the receiver. So let's take scenario here. Let sender sends a frame to the receiver. Receiver provides acknowledgement, but assumes that that acknowledgement is lost. So what will happen after the time period expires? Sender retransmits the same frame once again. So now receiver has two similar frames. So this frame and this frame, both the frames are same only. So this is nothing but duplicate frame. Why? Because already receiver has this frame. So how to solve this problem? In order to solve this problem, sender has to append a sequence number to the frame. So here let it be frame 0. So this is the sequence number here. 0 is the sequence number. So sender is sending frame 0 to the receiver. The receiver successfully receives the frame and provides the acknowledgement. But let us assume that the acknowledgement is lost. So after the timeout, sender is retransmitting the same frame once again. So sender is retransmitting frame 0 to the receiver. So now by observing frame 0, receiver can identify that already I have frame 0. So this duplicate frame will be discarded by the receiver. Why? Because already receiver is having frame 0. So there is no need of this frame 0 for the receiver. So now receiver provides acknowledgement for this frame. So receiver is providing acknowledgement for this frame. So these are the various scenarios where we will get some errors. Yeah, in positive acknowledgement there is no problem. In negative acknowledgement we have some error. Next, in frame lost, acknowledgement lost, we have some errors. Next, duplicate frames also, this is one more problem. So these are the various errors which will occur. Now let's see how we can control these errors. So in order to control these errors, we use two approaches. The first approach is error detection. Second approach is error correction. So first approach is error detection. Errors can be controlled in two ways. First one is error detection. Second one is error correction. Error correction. in this video, our major focus is on error control only. Okay. So data link layer design issues means you need to explain services provided to the network layer, framing, error control. So this explanation is enough. There is no need to explain too much about error detection and error correction. If the question is exclusively given on error detection and error correction, you need to explain these two things. Otherwise, if the question is given on error control, no need of too much of explanation on these two concepts. Here we can detect the errors by using with 4 approaches. The first approach is checksum. Second approach is CRC. CRC stands for cyclic redundancy check. Third approach is parity check. And the fourth approach is Hamming code. And in order to correct the errors, we use Hamming code. So Hamming code is the popular approach. So already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos are uploaded on these concepts. So one video on error detection and error correction, second video on checksum, third video on CRC, fourth video on parity check, fifth video on both Hamming code. Hamming code is useful for both error detection as well as correction. So already 5 videos are uploaded on these concepts. So I will share those videos link in the description as well as comments. If the question is given on error control, then you need to explain various scenarios where we will get the errors. And these two are enough. Error detection and error correction. What are the techniques which we use in order to detect the error, in order to correct the error? That much of explanation is enough. Whereas if the question is exclusively given on explain error detection, then you need to explain these 4 techniques. One of these technique, if the question is given an error correction, this technique. Okay.
We are going to discuss about data link layer design issues. Mainly we have 4 design issues are there. First one is services provided to the network layer. Second one is flow control. Third one error control. Fourth one framing. In this video, we are going to discuss about flow control. Whereas in the upcoming videos, we will see about the remaining 3 issues. Let us see what is the flow control. So let us assume that we have a sender mission as well as a receiver mission. So now what will happen? Sender sends a frame to the receiver. Sender sends a frame to the receiver. So receiver receives that frame and processes that frame and provides an acknowledgement to the corresponding sender. But let us assume that here the speed of the sender is very, very high. So let us assume that sender is working with high speed, whereas the speed of the receiver is very, very slow. So the speed of the receiver is very, very slow. So let us assume that so sender is sending the frames at a higher speed in which the receiver cannot consume the corresponding frames at that speed. Let us assume that here we have a buffer at the receiver side. We have a buffer. Let the size of the buffer is 3 frames. So sender sends 3 frames to the receiver, and those 3 frames were saved here. Whereas receiver is processing that frames in a slower manner. So in the meantime, what will happen is, let us assume that sender sends 3 more frames to the receiver. Then what will happen? Here the buffer is full. So that means some of the frames in the buffer will be lost now. So this is the problem here. If the sender sends data at higher speed than the receiver receives and consumes the frames, then some of the frames will be lost. So this problem is called as flow control. So here we have to maintain the flow of the sender and the receiver. So the sender speed should match with the receiver speed. So in order to maintain that flow, we have 2 types of protocols are there. Let us see those 2 protocols in this video. The first type of the protocol is stop and wait protocol. So in order to handle that flow, so for handling flow control, we have several flow control mechanisms are there. The most commonly used mechanisms are, first one is stop and wait protocol. Whereas the second one is sliding window protocol. So mainly we use these 2 protocols in order to handle the flow, okay, that speed. Okay. So what is the first one? Stop and wait protocol. So here what we have is, let us assume that we have a sender, we have a receiver. So let sender sends a frame to the receiver. So after that, what will happen is, sender stops and waits until it receives an acknowledgement from the receiver. So after sending a frame to the receiver, sender stops to send another frame. So sender stops and waits until it receives an acknowledgement from the receiver. So let us assume that receiver provided acknowledgement for the corresponding frame. So after receiving the acknowledgement, sender will send one more frame to the receiver, and after that, sender stops and waits for acknowledgement from the receiver. So after receiving the corresponding frame, receiver provides an acknowledgement to the sender. So what is the problem with this approach? Here sender is sending a frame to the receiver, and during this time, the sender is sitting as idle. Sender is not doing any work. So sender is simply waiting for the acknowledgement for that frame. If you take this one also, here sender sends a frame to the receiver, but after that, sender is keeping as idle. Sender is sitting as idle. Sender is expecting an acknowledgement from the receiver. So this is the problem here. Most of the time, sender will sit as the idle. So that means we are not utilizing the efficiency of this protocol in an efficient manner. In order to overcome this problem, we use the sliding window protocol. In sliding window protocol, what will happen is, instead of sending a single frame, the sender can send multiple frames to the receiver. In stop and wait protocol, the sender at a time can send only 1 frame to the receiver. Whereas in this approach, the sender can send multiple frames to the receiver. Okay. Here we maintain a window, buffer window. So that buffer window contains, it specifies the size of the buffer. So let us assume that here we have 6 frames are there. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 frames are there. Here the frames are numbered with the help of some sequence numbers. So 0 means let the first frame number is 1. So let we have 6 frames like this. Okay. Yes, we have sender mission as well as the receiver mission. Here we can send multiple frames to the receiver. So let us assume that here the size of the window, the size of the sliding window is 3. So that means at a time, sender can send 3 frames to the receiver. So let us assume that sender sends 3 frames to the receiver. So now the sliding window contains these 3 frames. these three frames. Okay. Then after that, receiver receives this is the first frame, second frame, third frame. So receiver receives the corresponding frame, and after receiving, he provides the acknowledgement to the corresponding sender. So let us assume that receiver provides an acknowledgement to the sender. So now for the first frame, an acknowledgement is provided to the sender. Now in the sliding window, we should not have one term. Now the sliding window contains 2 and 3. Sliding window contains 2 and 3. So let us assume that okay. Yes, we have sender mission as well as the multiple frames to the receiver. Okay. Here we maintain a window, buffer window. So that buffer window contains it specifies the size of the buffer. So let us assume that here we have it sits here as the ID. So that means we are not utilizing the efficiency of this protocol in an efficient manner. In order to overcome this problem, we use the sliding window protocol. In sliding window protocol, what will happen is instead of sending a single frame, the sender can send multiple frames to the receiver. In stop and wait protocol, the sender at a time can send only one frame to the receiver. The size of the buffer. So let us assume to the receiver. Okay. Here we maintain a window, buffer window. So that buffer window contains it specifies the size of the buffer. So let us assume that here we have 6 frames are there. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 frames are there. Here the frames are numbered with the type of some sequence numbers. So 0 means like the first frame number is 1. So like we have 6 frames like this. Okay. Yes, we have sender mission as well as the receiver mission. Here we can send multiple frames to the receiver. So let us assume that here the size of the window, the size of the sliding window is 3. The size of the sliding window is 3. So that means at a time sender can send 3 frames to the receiver. So let us assume that sender sends 3 frames to the receiver. So now the sliding window contains these 3 frames. Okay. Then after that, receiver receives this is the first frame, second frame, third frame. So receiver receives the corresponding frame, and after receiving, he provides the acknowledgement to the corresponding sender. So let us assume that receiver provides an acknowledgement to the sender. So now for the first frame, an acknowledgement is provided to the sender. Now in the sliding window, we should not have one term. Now the sliding window contains 2 and 3. So let us assume that sender sends one more frame to the receiver. So now the sliding window contains these 3 frames. So that window will be slided one position to the right now. Okay. Next, after some time, what will happen? Receiver provides acknowledgement to the corresponding sender. So now for the second frame, an acknowledgement is provided to the sender. Now sender sends one more frame to the receiver. Now sliding window contains these 2 will be deleted. Why? Because for the 2, an acknowledgement is provided to the sender. Now the sliding window contains the frames from 3 to 5. So here the sliding window means sliding window contains the frames which are not processed. So for 3, 4, 5, here the receiver didn't provide any acknowledgement to the sender. Here after the sliding window, we have 6. It specifies that sender didn't send this frame to the receiver. So here we have 1, 2 before the sliding window. It specifies that receiver already provided acknowledgement to the sender. So with the help of sliding window protocol, we can control that speed in an efficient manner so that there should not be any mismatch between the sender and the receiver. So both will work with the same speed. So in this way, we can maintain flow control mechanism. Is mainly useful for error detection in data. In this video, we are going to discuss 1, 2 before the sliding window.